Hi everybody, Scott Livingston here. I hope you had a chance to take a look at Monday's blog this week, where we talked about a leadership mistake that's fairly common to all of us actually. If you haven't had a chance to look at that, why don't you hop on over to drscottlivingston.com, take a look at that blog, because this week's leadership tip of the week is going to stem from that. And actually, it stems from a conversation that I've had with some folks on the blog site about the topic, which really is balance. The idea is this: some of us have such positive and good emotional intelligence strengths that at times those strengths get in our way, and if they're not compensated for, they can actually become a weakness. On the blog site this week, my friend L described it as overswinging. When we get up to the plate and we use a strength and we take our eye off the ball. The analogy is a sports one, both from baseball and from golf, where we tend to swing too strong. And in baseball terms, we get out in front of a pitch and we hit it foul, or we just swing over the top of it and miss it completely. In golf, it can cause us to slice or hook the ball. And so what are some things, practical things that we can do as leaders when our strengths, the stuff we're really good at, can actually get in our way? Some of you are so empathetic. Empathy just oozes out of you to the point where it can affect your self-confidence. So these are the kinds of things I want you to think about in terms of balance. And if you're really interested in this topic, I actually have a coaching package of 3 coaching sessions and an emotional intelligence self-assessment that has a leadership component to it. If you're interested in that, then send me an email at scott@drscottlivingston.com, and we can set you up with that. But I wanted to deliver on this leadership tip of the week, 5 T's. 5 T's of balance. What is really required here is patience. What we're talking about when we're talking about overdoing a strength is being patient with yourself in the moment. You know, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Patience and fortitude conquer all things." So here are my 5 T's for you becoming a more patient leader and not overswinging. They are track, trigger, target, teach, and turn. Let me give you 30 seconds on each of them, and then you can think about those. And if you have a comment, hop on over to the blog site at drscottlivingston.com. I'd love to hear from you. The first T of patience is to track. You just go through your day and put a little tick mark when you're feeling impatient or you feel like you're overextending a strength. If you want to know the 15 EI competencies that are affected by this, I have them posted in this week's blog. The second thing is to identify the trigger. What's the trigger that causes you to lose patience? If you can identify the trigger, now you know the cause and you can actually put together a plan to do something about it. The third thing for you to think about is to keep in mind the long term, what I call target. Target the long term. You know, we all have these ups and downs in the moment. And it's these momentary ups and downs that can emotionally get us off track. So I want you to target and keep in mind the long term and not get all caught up in the short situations of life. The fourth one I think is good for all of us, and that is to teach. You know, if you're impatient, why not grab a young person? Why not mentor someone and let them know you want to mentor them on patience? You know, there's no better way to learn something than to have to teach it. And number 5 is to turn. When most of us, when we get impatient, it goes to negativity and we get negative thoughts. We get tension, we get anxiety. Here's what I want you to do. Turn that negativity into a positive. And when you're feeling impatient, just smile. Smile and laugh. You'll be amazed at what that can do for you. Hey, I'm Scott Livingston. That's your leadership tip of the week. If I can be of any assistance to you in terms of developing your own leadership, don't hesitate to contact me. We'll see you next week on the blog.